وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وبعد. The concept of Amanah in the Islam is very important one. And the Amanah, the top one of it, actually we have different types of Amanah. The top one of it is Amanah to Deen. The Amanah that Allah Azza wa Jal trusted us with, which is religion. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala trusted us to take the responsibility to carry that religion and put it into application and to follow all the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's a great responsibility that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to the humans in general, not just to our nation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ فَأَبَيْنَ أَن يَحْمِلْنَهَا وَأَشْفَقْنَ مِنْهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presented the Amanah for other creations to take it, like the heavens and the earth and the mountains, to take the responsibility of religion, to have the choice to believe or not to believe. And if they believe, they have to take all the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, stay away from the things that Allah prohibited. They have to apply the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Sharia. But فَأَشْفَقْنَا مِنْهَا, they felt like they cannot take it, it's too much for them. وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانِ, but us, the humans, took the responsibility, carried the Amanah. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commented about that, إِنَّهُ كَانَ ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. This is our own injustice to ourselves and our own ignorance. We don't understand, how big is this Amanah. That's how, when you look at the humanity and the humans in general, you're going to find that the majority of them are not Muslims. وَمَا أَكْثَرُ النَّاسِ وَلَوْ حَرَصْتَ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Most of the people, even if you did your best, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Quran, as in Surah Yusuf and other surahs as well, بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. You're not going to find most of them as believers, and this is the fact. So in general, the humans fail to carry the responsibility of Amanah as it should be. But in a way, the believers carried it, the way they should carry it, because they accept the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they make it practical in their life, and they're struggling in this dunya to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is Amanat al-Deen, but I'm not going to talk about this one in detail now. And there is something else is called Amanah fi al-Nush. When you have Amanah to give advice to the other Muslims, you don't have to be asked for that. Like, this is part of you being a Muslim, that when you see your brother is going the wrong direction, on the wrong way, or something wrong is going, you have to reach out for him. Brother, take care of this, be careful of this, don't fall in this mistake. It's your responsibility. Because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith, ad-deen al-nasiha, religion is all about nasiha, advice. You have to give this advice to, قلنا لمن, they asked for whom? قال لله ولكتابه ولرسوله ولأئمة المسلمين وعامتهم. So part of it is to give the nasiha to the Muslims in general, whether the imams or the leaders of the ummah or the nation or the Muslims, or the lay people, just the normal people like me and you. When you see your brother, an example of that is that one of the Sahaba, Jarir ibn Abdullah, one day he sent his servant, he had someone who serves him, and he sent him to the market to buy him something. So he went and he bought it for him. He said, he gave him a lot of money to go and buy it. So he said, how much you pay for it? He said, 400. He said, that's it? 400? It's worthy of more than that. He said, come back, show me the seller. They went to the market, he showed him the seller. He said, you sold this for him for 400? Looks like he was buying clothing or something. He said, yes, I gave it to him for 400. He said, and you're happy with the price? I said, yes, I'm happy with that price. He said, how about if I give you 500? He said, that will be good for me. I wouldn't say no. Then how about 600? Say, better. 700, 800? He said, take the 800. He gave him 800, double the price. And then the man was looking at him like he's saying inside himself, this man is crazy, Why would he come and pay double the price if you already bought it, Then he looked at him, and he can tell from his look that he's, he's surprised by what's going on. He said, you know what? I'm not crazy, man, as you might think of me right now. But I gave my word to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. بايعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم على النصح للمسلمين, to give advice to the Muslims and never betrayed it. That's what stops me from, taking advantage of you, that you don't know the actual value of this thing that you are selling right now. If I were somebody else, I would just take advantage of it. Yes, buying and selling is all about bargaining, but there is a limit. You cannot just deceive the person in front of you. You know, there is a margin of money or profit that you make, right? But you cannot take advantage of the person that you're selling it to him, you know, double price, or you are buying it from him half price. That's too much. You know, that's exceeding the limit. The Prophet ﷺ did not, you know, tell the Sahaba to do that, and this is not business at all. This is scamming people, as we might say. You know, that's haram in Islam. Another interesting story about Imam Abu Hanifa in this matter as well. Imam Abu Hanifa was a businessman. He used to sell clothing as well, and you know, and he has a partner, you know, because he cannot give all his time to that work since he's, you know, working with ilm, knowledge, and you know, the hadith and the fiqh. So he used to like buy the stuff with his partner. Sometimes he give him some assignment to go sell it somewhere else. So he bought, you know, wholesale clothing, and he gave it to the guy to go sell it somewhere else, because he told him that place they are in need to that, go sell it there. But he told him, look, this one has a small tiny defect in it, you know. You have to show it to the person before you sell it, and tell him about the defect that it has, and put a lower price. Don't put the same price for it. Said, okay. Since the guy had a lot of stuff and he's making a big business, so he went and he sold everything, and when he came back, Abu Hanifa asked him, did you tell the guy about that though? He said, you know what, I forgot, because I had a lot of stuff, and actually I didn't mean to sell it this way, but I sold it the same price, and it was okay. It's a very tiny thing, it's not that big thing, nobody would notice it. And he gave Abu Hanifa his share, 10,000. That's his, you know, the capital money plus the profits that he make, you know, the extra money he made. Then Abu Hanifa said, you know what, this money has shubha, is like, I feel it's mixed halal and haram. There might be a possibility that there's a small percentage of it could be haram because of that, because we didn't show it. And since we cannot find the guy because it's from another city and we bought from you, and you know what, I'm gonna give all my portion, the capital and the extra money that I made, for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sadaqah, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me and the guy who you know, who bought the thawb, if he had anything against us. SubhanAllah, who would do that? If someone else, he would say, well, I'll take the price of this thawb only, which may be 100 or a couple of hundred, and give it as sadaqah, and that's it. But he gave all the money he had. That's another level, or a higher level, that's called al-wara'. Al-wara' is like when you give up something that's halal for the sake to avoid all the haram. That's a higher level. That's the Sahaba and the righteous people used to do it, and that was very normal to them at that time. Like one of the Sahaba also was selling a camel, and a guy came and he bought the camel from him, and the camel was strong and fat and everything. So after the guy, you know, they agree on the price and everything, it came to the mind of the Sahabi to ask the guy, you know, why you're buying this camel? You're buying it to slaughter it and eat it, or just to travel with it? You know. So the guy said, no, I'm planning to travel with it and go to Hajj. He said, no. Then I'm gonna pay you the money back and take my camel. He said, why? He said, it has a little tiny problem with its feet, tiny problem, a small hole in the feet of the camel, so he wouldn't be strong enough to take you. It might cause you troubles. I thought you're buying it to slaughter it, that will be a good deal for you. But now I'm gonna cancel that. The guy told him, why you're messing up the deal? You know, I bought it and I'm happy with it. He said, no, I wouldn't be happy, because I have to explain to you and show you the problem before you go. See, if we have people dealing that honest these days, everything will change. You know, the Prophet ﷺ, when he was talking about the Amanah, he said, إِذَا ضُيِّعَتِ الْأَمَانَةِ فَانْتَظِرِ السَّاعَةِ. You know, when the Amanah is lost among the people, then wait for the day of judgment to come right away, when it's totally lost. And they said, وَكَيْفَ إِضَاعَتُهَا يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ? How is it going to be lost? You know, they couldn't imagine that one day the Amanah will be gone from us. He said, إِذَا وُسِّدَ الْأَمْرُ إِلَى غَيْرِ أَهْلِ. When the matter is given to people who are not worthy of taking it, like especially to put the leadership of the Muslim Ummah in hands of the people who are not trustworthy, then what they're going to do is they're going to abuse the money of the Muslim Ummah and make their own peoples poor, and we will see starvations everywhere. They will do stuff that's not for the sake of the Muslim Ummah. It will be the sake of somebody else, just to make some money on the side, and we see it a lot. That will cause a lot of problems. Why? Because they are not working for the people who are under their own charge and their own responsibility. They just want to accumulate more money and more fortune in their bank accounts, that sometimes they are not able to reach it at some point. but all these billions are lost, or not for the sake of their own people, while they keep taking loans from the international bank, and then their assets and their credits and their balances are enough to feed their own people. But that is the thing. That is the fact that we are living right now. And we will come to a point, as Rasulullah ﷺ said, that we will come to a point in the time that people will look for somebody who's trustworthy and ask each other. They say, you know what? We heard of someone in this village, in the whole village or the whole city, who's Amin, who's trustworthy. Let's go find him. Imagine to that limit. They are looking for him as if something like, it's not there anymore. They see, we heard about someone in that city who's Amin. Subhanallah. It will come to that point, and you will gonna see people around you talking about the Amanah and acting like they're on that, but they're not. So that the people will lose their trust, at that time. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to make us from those people who carry the Amanah. And I'm gonna end up with this situation that in the time of Umar ibn Khattab, when they opened Fars, the land of Fars, Persia, and they bring the games of war to him. He found someone bringing the crown of the king to him, and it's heavy, and it's a lot of money. It's a big fortune. Then Umar ibn Khattab looked at it, and he started to move it with his little stick in his hand. It's not something worthy to him. He's going to sell it, and they're going to melt it and give it to the poor people. He will never wear it or never keep it as a souvenir or anything like that. He looked at it and he kept, And he said, إِنَّ قَوْمًا أَدُّوا إِلَيْنَا هَذَا لَأُمَنَاء. The people who will bring something valuable like this to me, they are really trustworthy. Then one of the Sahaba looked at him and said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, Anta Amin fahum umana. Because you are trustworthy, they are following you and they are umana. Because if the top leader is not Amin, then and the people see him stealing, then you're going to find the people under his command stealing, and the people under them stealing. It will go down. It's hierarchy. So we have to be careful about that. We have to be role models, especially at the time, because our kids are watching us, our neighbors are watching us, our Muslim brothers are watching us. Even if you don't see the people are doing it enough around you, but you have to be the example, because this is part of your deen to be Amin. جزاكم الله خيرا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.